This is beautiful Aldeburgh on the East Suffolk coast of England. It stretches from there right the way along and around. There's a lot of independent shops, which you will see shortly, and some lovely boutique type shops. And there are two family run fish and chip shops which have been rated the best in the country. They're also the favourite of the singer Ed Sheeran, and one of his recent videos was actually filmed from the fish shop and eating his fish and chips on the beach. Didn't think this one through with the copyright. It's a bit big to eat. So, welcome to Aldeburgh. For those of you that follow my channel, you'll be aware of the fact that I do reviews from different hotels and resorts from across the world that I'm lucky enough to visit, and also bring you along with me to various trips. Apart from going abroad, I also do a lot of trips closer to home. I'm lucky enough to live in the town of Framlingham, which is in the county of Suffolk, which is then part of East Anglia. And East Anglia was voted a must visit place by Lonely Planet for 2025. I've already posted videos closer to home of Framlingham, which is made famous by Ed Sheeran's Castle on the Hill. Ed Sheeran actually lives in my town. I've also posted videos of Bury St Edmunds and also another Suffolk coastal town of Southwold. This today is my visit to Aldeburgh. I hope you're going to enjoy the video, and it may tempt you to come along and visit this town, not just in the summer, but any time of year. It's a pretty windy old day today. As you can see, Aldeburgh has a really long beach. It is shingle rather than sand. That there is the North Sea, and about 200 miles dead ahead is the coast of the Netherlands. So Aldeburgh is a coastal town rather than a seaside resort. It doesn't have a pier, doesn't have any amusement arcades, but you'll see shortly it's a really lovely town to visit. As I mentioned, it's on the North Sea coast. It's about 87 miles or 140 kilometres northeast of London, 20 miles or 32 kilometres northeast of Ipswich, and 23 miles or 37 kilometres south of Lowestoft. It's about a 10-minute drive off of the major A12 road which runs from London to Norfolk. So I've come off the shingle beach, which is just literally next to me. As you can see, you have a really lovely walkway that runs right the length of the beach and the town, as you'll see shortly. Before we go into the town and explore that, and I'll show you what's to offer, a little background information around Aldeburgh. So Aldeburgh has a population of about 3,000 people, and a notable figure or person that's come from Aldeburgh is the world famous composer Benjamin Britten. And Aldeburgh remains the centre of an international arts festival which was founded by Benjamin Britten at nearby Snape Maltings in 1948. We're also only 18 miles away from the world famous Anglo-Saxon ship burial site at Sutton Hoo. You may have seen the film. Again, that's just off the A12 on your way to or from Aldeburgh, and that remains one of the most important archaeological discoveries of modern times. So as you walk into town, there are a number of fresh fish cabins dotted along here, where you can buy fresh fish straight from the sea. You can see on here all the stuff that's available to you if you do love your seafood. So that is as fresh as a daisy, as they say. Also do their own smoking as well. But fish, if you love smoked fish like I do, then this is the place to come. Fresh fish, anything fresher is still swimming. There you go. So they've got today salmon, haddock, cod, Dover sole plaice, lobster, crab, sea bass and mackerel. So lunch. So Aldeburgh as a port gained borough status from King Henry VIII in 1529. Much of the old Tudor town has now been lost to the sea, but in the 16th century, Aldeburgh was a leading port and a flourishing shipbuilding industry. This went into decline when the nearby River Alde began to silt up. It then survived as a fishing village until becoming the popular seaside town that it is today. So this building here, which is literally right on the seafront, is Aldeburgh Moot Hall. So Moot Hall was an old-fashioned meeting place, and this building was completed in 1520, so various renovations over the years. You can see the date of that clock there is 1650, and famously in 1645 the building was the location for a trial under the direction of the Witchfinder General at the time of 7 alleged witches who were subsequently hanged. It is a museum now, and you can visit the building if you want to. It's amazing really, it's stood the test of time considering how close it is to the sea. Let's take you further into town now and show you a little bit more of Aldeburgh. So, as I mentioned earlier, Aldeburgh is a very popular seaside town to visit all through the year, and visitors are drawn to the blue flag shingle beach. It's many fishermen huts I've just shown you, and the fresh fish you can actually buy here. There's a lot of independent shops, which you will see shortly, and some lovely boutique type shops. And there are 2 family run fish and chip shops which have been rated the best in the country. They're also the favourite of the singer Ed Sheeran, and one of his recent videos was actually filmed from the fish shop and eating his fish and chips on the beach. Parking, if you are coming to Aldeburgh, is 2 hours is £4, 4 hours is £6, and all day is £8. And there are reductions to that, normally half price roughly, if you come during the autumn and winter times. Again, opposite the lifeboat station, Aldeburgh does have a small theatre, as you can see, July to September. Staying in the area, actually come see a show as well on the beach. Not sure you can see that properly through the glare, but that's the lifeboat there, and that's the theatre that I mentioned earlier. Shop if you want to support the lifeboats. Rudder taken from City of Winchester, largest of the sailing lifeboats, which saved 40 lives, and was stationed at Aldeburgh 1902 to 1928. I have to say I do love this part of the coast. I was born and bred in East London. I didn't move out to Suffolk until about 5-6 years ago. A pub there to eat and drink outside. So to actually only be sort of 30 minutes by car from Aldeburgh, from Southwold, Walberswick, Dunwich. You know, we've got some gorgeous places here. I'm not that far either from Felixstowe. People think Felixstowe as the container port. They've got a really lovely seaside front there. Lots to do in Felixstowe. We're not that far either from Lowestoft. So I'm really, really fortunate to live in this part of the world. And I really would encourage you, if you haven't sort of visited the coast of East Anglia, you know, if you've done lots of time down in the southwest, Dorset, Devon, Cornwall, beautiful places as they are, East Anglia and the Suffolk coast seems to go under the radar. You know, people hear of North Norfolk and Cromer, them sort of places, which are beautiful. But, you know, don't disregard the Suffolk coast, because it really, really does have a lot to offer. Not just in the summertime, but all throughout the year, in my opinion. So this walkway, as you can see, is where we started originally, right the way down there. So you can have a walk along the beach if you want to. But the walkway, you know, people walk their dogs along here. You can cycle, skate, scooters, whatever, you know, you or the children want to bring along. You can do it in relative safety, away from the actual roads of the town. The smell of chips from one of those fish shops is really, really making me feel hungry. I think I might have to stop and get a portion of chips in a minute. We're going down here because there's quite a well-known hotel down here, which I'll tell you a little bit more in a moment. A lot of the places that you can see here are B&Bs or holiday lets. Again, I haven't got any details for you to actually share how you can actually book those, but there's also As you go into town a little bit more, just off the front, there are a lot more holiday lets and B&Bs that you can book as well along the way. So this hotel you can see in front of us is the Brothernill Hotel. Times newspaper in 2025 compiled a list of top places to stay for a short trip without having to break the bank. The list included 12 hotels from across the UK, including the Brothernill Hotel in Aldeburgh, describing it as an elegant old sea view hotel that is modernised by becoming dog friendly and adding a Swiss restaurant. Described the hotel and the town, Times said, despite its excellent seafood and fascinating history, Suffolk Heritage Coast has remained largely under the radar, which I mentioned earlier, including preppy Aldeburgh with its Georgian High Street, genteel music festival and unbeatable fish and chips. As mentioned earlier, Suffolk Coast is part of East Anglia, which was voted as a must visit by Lonely Planet in 2025. There is a menu outside the Brothernill Hotel, so I'll show you what's to offer here. And if you're tempted to literally eat on the beach, and you can see there is inside and outside seating as well. The tapas by the sea, any four for £28. Again, it's going to be heavily seafood influenced because of where we are. 2 courses for £20 for lunch. Lunch and light bites. Lunch mains, crayfish and clam linguine. Adnams, which is a local brewery. Dry hot tomato fish and chips. Evening menu. Evening mains. Lobster, crab, thermidor, crayfish and lamb linguine. Daily catch. And desserts. Okay, so if you want to eat before you go to the theatre, then this may be the place for you. I'll take you into town now and show you what that Georgian High Street is like. We may even stop off to get a portion of chips on the way. So right next door to the Brothernill Hotel is Fisher's Gin Distillery. Open house. You've found the closest gin distillery to the sea in the UK. It also does tours and tasting available. Pop into books again if you're in the area. Fancy a gin tasting. Also got some local tourist information as well by the looks of it. Okay, let's get into town. So car parking is both ends of this beach, but as you can see, it stretches from there right the way along and around. So as we walk to town, a number of these properties along here are rentable. You can see on there, this little one, Aldeburgh Coastal Cottages, stay with us. Yeah, if you look at that QR code, that will take you to stay in Suffolk, and that will help you out. There we go, 01728 885 262. So a number of these properties are rentable. And the high street is just in front of us. Proper cottage garden there. If you do have any questions at all about Aldeburgh or any of the other places that I've posted videos on, if you're not asked questions on those videos individually, so that's Bury St Edmunds, Framlingham, Southwold, please do ask in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to help you with anything or answer any questions that you may have got. And I will try and always answer questions within a maximum of 24 hours. So just coming into the high street, that's an Adnams pub, the White Hart Inn, and directly next to that is a family run since 1967 fish and chip shop. I'm sure this is Ed Sheeran's favourite fish and chip shop. So I'm going to pop in and get myself a portion of chips, go back to the front and eat some lunch. So, got my spot with the seagulls hovering, and that is my fish and chips, which hopefully you can see in the bag there. Got cod roe and chips. So it's really weird eating here lunch on my own. I'm normally here with my wife, but she's gone away for a long weekend with her friends to Mallorca. So I'm Norman no mates today. There'll be lunch on my own on the front, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it just as much. Didn't think this one through with a cod roe. It's a bit big to eat on its own. It's really good though. I have to say that was really nice and lived up to expectation. I'll get my backpack on now and I'll show you the rest of what Aldeburgh has to offer. Someone else like me that they have to get every single last piece of chip out of the bag. I do really enjoy fish and chips. I think it's definitely my favourite meal of all time. So if you've got any recommendations of any good fish and chip restaurants or takeaways even in Suffolk or anywhere else in the UK, then please do let me know and I'll try and make my way there someday. So back onto the high street now. That's the fish and chip shop. We'll have a wander around and show you what else is available for shopping or bakeries, that type of thing, if you come into Aldeburgh. Do love an art gallery, and there's a couple of good ones in Aldeburgh. So Adnams and the two Magpies bakeries are quite sort of famous in this part of Suffolk. Adams are our local brewery, do some really good beers and lagers as well as gins and other bits and pieces. I'll take you and show you what the two Magpies bakery is like. Hopefully you can see that through the glaze. It's not a cheap bakery by any stretch of the imagination, but food is always nice though. Spiced Moroccan roll, croque monsieur, two Magpies sausage rolls. Let's cross over the road. It's Friday today where I'm filming. The children break up for their school holidays today. So it's still fairly quiet here, but it can get really busy in the summertime. Another restaurant over there, Munchies. Let's see what that restaurant, Regatta. Let's see if that's got a menu. All dog friendly around here as well. Starters, main courses, chicken nuggets, pasta and desserts, and their main menus. So it's a fairly small town, but you've got plenty of choice for main restaurants or sandwiches. It's another bakery, Munchies. Do some nice stuff in there as well. This gives you an idea maybe of rentals up there. 3 nights 1,920, 7 nights 2,400. So I say it's not a cheap area. But enjoyable. The restaurant over the other side. The other fish and chip shop, which is the second of the famous two, is that one directly in front. I've had fish and chips from there as well. Again, really highly recommended. And I can understand why they've got the good reputations that they have, because they both serve really good stuff. And I have to say, a lot cheaper than where I live in Framlingham. Again, some property prices up there. That one right on the front. 1,250,000. Little cottage there, 895. Got a little cottage as well, 1.4 million. And that little cottage, 695,000. So if you've got the money and you want to live in a seaside town, which offers an awful lot, and that gives you an idea of what the prices actually are. So back to the coast, as you can see. I'm really pleased that we are, because it's touching 30 degrees. I'm melting today. I forgot my hat. But there's a little map in front there, which I'll show you quickly. Gives you a little bit of information, famous people, about the high street. But that's where we walked, right the way along there to the end, and came back along the high street, through there, and back along there. One thing we didn't see was a Martello Tower. So this is the most northerly of the line of 74 heavily built defensive gun emplacements set up from 1803 along the most vulnerable stretches of the Channel coast during the Napoleonic Wars to counter the threat of invasion. Now a letting property managed by the Landmark Trust. So here we are. I hope you've enjoyed our stroll along Aldeburgh. It really is a lovely little town. Whether you come here as a main holiday, as you can see there's plenty of places to rent. Whether you come here for a night or two, or even come here as a day trip. If you're in this part of the world and you want to just visit a lovely Suffolk town, then why not? The word I'd use for Aldeburgh probably is quaint. It's a lovely quaint town. You don't need a pier and amusement arcades to enjoy a UK seaside town, and I think this place has a lot to offer. It's got some lovely formal restaurants to eat and drink. It's got some good pubs. It's got some lovely bakeries for snacks or breakfast and lunch items. It's got a lovely beach. It might not be sand, sorry, it's shingle, but you can still have fun on a shingle beach. It's really wide and really long. Yeah, it's got a lot to offer. If you have enjoyed the video, then please do give me a thumbs up like. The reason I ask for that is that the way the YouTube algorithm works is that more people like it, YouTube then believes that more people are engaged with the video, and it pushes it out to more people, which helps me to grow my audience more. So that would be really helpful to me. And please do consider subscribing. 66% of people that watch my videos regularly haven't subscribed. Please do, it's completely free. It takes about 2 seconds to actually hit that subscribe button, and that'll be really helpful as well. I have posted, as I mentioned earlier, more videos from this part of the world. Beautiful Southwold, which is just along the coast up that way, past that bend up there. In the west of Suffolk, Bury St Edmunds. I've also posted my hometown and Ed Sheeran's hometown with the famous castle on the hill of Framlingham. So please do check that out. And I'll continue to be posting more videos as I travel to different parts of the UK. And of course I will be continuing to post videos of hotel and resort reviews and places I visit around the world. I've got a trip to Morocco coming up soon, so I'm looking forward to that. So please do check that out. And I've also got an exciting trip to the Middle East planned for October. So again, please do check that out as well. I really appreciate your support for my channel. Really appreciate you watching my videos and interacting with me on the comments. So if you've got any questions regarding Aldeburgh or any of the videos I posted from this part of the world, then please do ask in the comments below. Don't forget to tell me about your fish and chip recommendations, and I'll be pleased to answer those questions within 24 hours. And also, if you've got any recommendations of places to visit that I might not be aware of in this part of England, then again, please do let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to check those out and share them with everybody. But thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers.